Ready?
Are you ready?
I'm
I'm
ready.
ready. I'm ready. Okay.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Frankie, welcome back.
It's a reunion.
You get to fill in for Ashley while she's off somewhere.
I'm very happy to be here. It's been a long time.
Yeah, good to have you. So sorry you couldn't have Frankie and the Klitz this week. Shout out to our buddy Josh. Hopefully
Yes.
he's over the whatever he had, STD or whatever it was.
He had something.
Yeah, so it wasn't
You
STD.
guys.
General malaise.
It wasn't just STD. Of course,
No,
of course
he
we're
was,
kidding.
He's overworked. Definitely overpaid.
Overpaid? Yeah, probably
He's underworked,
so.
very much overpaid. He got himself all dehydrated, and he had his wife had to like stick some fluids in him. And if Klitz was here, he'd make a joke about that.
He would.
I was
then,
just about
He and
to
I
say
made
it.
several jokes back and forth that I cannot repeat here. So yeah, no, it was anyway. Yeah, get well soon. So, but you're also here because on your show next week you're going to have a guest who has made a little bit of social media news, and we had actually highlighted him previously.
Did he make the news or did we make the news?
We did a very cute story. We reported this cute story, and apparently somebody took it a little too seriously.
Yeah. It just goes to show that nothing good can ever go without critique.
Why don't you explain the situation in full?
Sure. Okay. So recently we did a story about Washington Tipton. He is a family member of the Tiptons. He doesn't work, helps out.
Helps out at the family business, which is 8 Open.
Yes. Okay. And so we did that story, and somebody turned them into the Illinois Department of Labor Services, and now it's a big deal because they're facing fines. It made me realize we have to step back on a couple of things too. Like the other day, I was wanting to highlight a bakery with some kids that they have an Illinois cottage license and they do this, but I was like, whoa, 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 let's pull the kibosh on this because I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble. It's just insane to think that under Illinois law, we as parents, we as just community members can't function as families.
So don't have your kids test any water.
Yeah, don't do that. Stop having my 9-year-old crawl into empty boilers. So yeah, the thing with that particular situation, so you've got a family in downtown Quincy, and they are a family that stays together, prays together, they work together, they do everything together, okay? And you've got this unbelievable, like, bright sensation of a young person that's downtown Quincy, and all he's doing is following his parents around. He's helping out his brother, he's helping out his sister, he's helping out his mom and dad, and they're sitting in the restaurant, and this kid wants to do things. So, for example, like the very first time, he just decided that some guest left some garbage on a table, so he's sitting around, he picks it up and puts it in the garbage because that's the kind of kid he is. And then it turned into him essentially saying, Dad, Mom, I want to clean, I want to do this, I want to cook.
He's making change.
He's making change. He goes, please let me work the register. Like, I don't know, And then he works the register because it's something that he loves to do. He wants to be an entrepreneur. It's homeschooling.
It is.
I mean, that's what it is. And
learning skills where else would you learn these skills? You're not learning these skills in school. It seems like the government is trying to hold us back from being self-sufficient.
Well, let's talk about that part of it. So there was a law at some point in time, and I'm not sure if that law is still in effect, where they talk about nobody's allowed to work under a certain age except farmers.
That is the law that is in place
Okay.
today. So you cannot, for any reason, be able to work under the age, I believe it's 14, it might be 15 and under. You have to get a worker's permit in Illinois, except for farming, like you said, which is like the most back-breaking, bone-densing work. Like, what are we doing? I mean, again, I want my kids to, if they want to farm, they can farm. I think in all these situations, we're not forcing kids to perform
It goes
labor.
back during the coal miner times where you've got unions and you've got you've got protections for laborers, for young kids, for child labor laws.
Absolutely.
And those things were built, and those things were good. And then you get 100 years forward, and now the law is you can grow the food, you can't serve the food. Mm-hmm. And all these stupid laws. So, for example, can a young child at a certain age ride it in a combine? Can they use heavy machinery? Yes. But can they punch a couple of buttons on a flat screen? I guess not. And then, truthfully, they can. But you're saying that the state of Illinois specifically is curbing that.
All states have different child age law requirements. Ours is one of the older ones, as it is with like leaving your children home alone. I believe the law is, I think it's 15. It's crazy. It's like you can't leave them home alone, but then the next year they can drive.
Yeah, that's silly.
I just feel like not only Illinois, but the government in general has it ass backwards. And I'm not trying to switch over to the other subject real quick, but you know, we are preventing families from letting them be self-sufficient. If a family is starving, not that this is the case for the Tiptons by any means, but hey, you know, we're talking about the grid going down in the future, this, and this.
The rapture.
Yeah. Well, that already happened. That already happened. Yeah, that was, yeah, we all missed it.
That's why we're still here.
That's why you're still here, yeah.
But you're making it so that families can't be self-sufficient when we're all trying to learn to possibly be self-sufficient if this whole world is going to go to shit, you know?
I'd like to ask the question, is the state of Illinois, are they confused as to how a family dynamic in the workplace should work, or are they actively trying to push aside the family and make the head of household truly the government first?
Well, I think that's what a lot of people would say that, especially when it comes to schools and, you know, some of the laws that kids don't have to say things to their parents, but they can tell their teachers in the schools about some of the goofy shit like that. So I think that's, unfortunately, yes, the state does feel they can do a better job of raising your child than you do, which is ridiculous.
I think that they also want it, so again, with the in lieu of self-reliance, they do want us to be dependent because look at it this way. You say you wanted to, I don't know, like be self-sufficient. This is how they go about doing it, but they're putting the kibosh on this, and instead they want you to be relied on their food stamps. Like if we can make our own food and do our own thing, why can't that be as a family? Instead, it's more acceptable to not be able to produce on your own and then take from the government, on the government dollar.
What's crazy is, I guess there are these two particular people. So you've got, let's say there's 100,000 people in the Quincy metro area, okay? You've got these two, I'm gonna call them rats, for lack of a better term. Two people out of 100,000 people that decided to blow the whistle and say this is bad. The tragedy of it is the state, I guess, the Department of Labor, was not allowed to say, listen, this is not the spirit of the law. This child's not being harmed. We've dove into this. This child is very happy. As a matter of fact, this child is getting ready to own his own business at some point in time relatively soon. He's being trained. He's trying to build a business to increase sales tax dollars for the city. He's trying to grow something. So what's wild is the Department of Labor is not, it looks like they're gonna go through and do something about it. And so, you know Ryan Brown? Mm-hmm. So Ryan Brown offered a pro bono work to help the Tiptons to do this.
Good for him. Good dude.
To defend that. So
good. Yeah, he's a good guy.
I'm kind of excited about that. So.
Well, and again, I think when you look at it and trying to, you know, this pigeonhole they're trying to do, and to say not to just come in and say, okay, this he is under his parents' supervision, it's fine. They're not making him, you know, he's not hauling a bunch of he's not just drop washing dishes or doing some grunt. I mean, he gets to like do everything. It's not, he wants to do it. And for somebody to claim that, oh no, it's some sort of child labor abuse, it's ridiculous. Come on.
It's lacking common sense. Like you just said, where they came in, they did an investigation where they saw there is no harm, but yet we still have to pursue this because we're pushing this government rule that lacks common sense. And that brings us to the next subject of lacking common sense. So again, like I said, the government has it ass backwards. We are preventing people from being self-sufficient in these child labor laws. Again, I'm not saying push your children to work or anything like that. I want children to be children, which brings me to This Book is Gay.
What is that?
That is the controversial book that will be released at the October 22nd Quincy Public Library event called Freed Between the Lines. Freed Between the Lines is a national event. It is headed by the LGBTQ community right now.
Can you explain? So, when you say this book is gay,
That's the title of the book.
Title.
the title. Okay,
This book is
the
gay.
book itself isn't gay.
No, no,
Okay.
But
take it
it
back.
says it's book. It says it is.
Oh, it is.
This
Okay.
book
This
is
book
gay.
is gay is the name
So,
of the title
By
of the book.
Juno Dawson.
So there is no identity crisis for the book. The book knows exactly what it is. Okay.
It's on the October 2nd, not 22nd. Also.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
What is going on with this book? You kind of informed me in the green room a little bit. I don't know too much about this. What's going on with
Okay,
it?
so this book is a manual for young gay kids to help them in their coming out. It helps them in their rebuttal to people when they tell them they're wrong. There's a whole chapter on religion, on what to say to each and every religion. There's a couple of chapters in there that talk about traumatic experiences. And that is where the whole banned book censorship thing comes in, where Dr. Dusterhouse made a claim at the city council meeting that this book needs to be in there because silencing this is silencing survivors' accounts. Now, again, these are just small sections of the book. In the rest of the book, we all saw, I'm sure you've seen it online, the back of the book has a glossary called the cheat sheet. In it, it discussed different terminology. The ones that I ran on and on and on about that I was appalled for was the word scat. Now, I just had a Daily Muddy, and the lady told me that the word scat meant poop, but in this glossary, it is the act of eating poop. It goes into golden showers, which is the act of drinking piss. It goes into glory hole, which is...
Oh, he knows what a glory hole is.
Okay, never mind. And then it even so much talks about the app Grinder, how to get on it, how it works, the purpose of it, meaning hooking up with strangers, not necessarily relying on it for love, so much more. On page 250, that was my most recent discovery, it actually gives out instructional or description on what's the difference between a good hand job and a bad hand job. Now, this book is designated or designed for children ages 14 to 18, according to the book. It is housed in the Quincy Public Library section under the Young Adult section. And according to our Quincy Public Library folk, the Young Adult sections to ages 12 to 18. And this is all, again, under an event of banned books. Now, I am not calling for that book to be banned. I think we should never ban books. I agree that, everything should be out there and available to the world. However, I don't think we need to spend government dollars, again, the government is ass backwards, in providing this book to give to kids for free. We're going to give out 25 copies of this as a community. Again, it is ages 14 to 18 for the book. I'm not sure how that's going to work, like if they're IDing people. I don't know how you ID kids. But the whole principle of the fact is we should not be giving this material to children. It is borderline pornographic. We are not the first community to think this. This has been brought up from Alaska to Jersey. And in most communities, they call to take it out of the program and to put it in the section of the library of 18 or older. Now, I know that the people that are putting on the event is the Quincy Public Library, the Quincy Human Rights Commission, and Quinata. Those are all government-based entities. And this is the only book in question. And I feel like they're just trying to burn the event down by not acknowledging that we as a community, I know I'm not the only one because I've had an outpouring about this.
Well, also Alderman Jake Reed brought it up at a city council meeting as well.
That's where it started.
That's where it started.
2 weeks ago, that's where it started. It's the city council meeting. A week later, Dr. Dusterhouse came in and made her 3 points. And then...
You need to say she's the head of Quinata and she is also a member of the Quincy Library Board. Let's give full context here.
Well, that's what you're here for.
I know.
So, again, I question the whole thing. I know that most people are going to say I'm a homophobe, which that's the thing that bothers me. Just because the word gay is attached to this book, we have to tote a line saying that we have to go along with this, even though it's involving sex in children. And that's where I draw the line.
Now, if it was just, if the graphic, which I agree on, I mean, the graphic, you showed me some of the stuff in it, and it's like, no, I don't want my kids seeing that. But number one, I agree with you that the book should be made available, that if a parent wanted to check it out, and then the parent can do what the parent want to do. But I think it's, again, I have nothing, if you've got a child who is, in that teenage years, they're confused, they don't know whatever, but again, that's for, they should be, and again, sometimes they can't talk to their parents. But I still think that they need something that will allow them to discover who they are. Again, it should be, I would hope they could have the courage. Again, it's tough to talk to your parents about something like that.
There are
I
tons of kids that don't have that opportunity, like you said.
I know. So, but there is a good way to do this. But again, this book just has so much bizarre crap in it. It's not just talking about a young person trying to find themselves sexually. It just gives all this graphic detail of all the kink stuff, and it's like, come on.
So
kinks.
it's gratuitous.
It's
what you're
kinks.
saying.
Yeah.
And I don't know why we need the kinks associated with the LGBTQ community.
Plenty of straight kinks.
Did you say that
Those are straight kinks too.
I know.
Did you say that the age for this particular book in the library is 12 to 18?
It's housed in the young adult section, which is 12 to 18.
Okay, so let's just go in the middle there, a 13, 14-year-old kid. Let's say that you do have a gay 13 or 14-year-old kid. Is this book, like, assuming that I agree with you that we should not be banning books. I mean, living in a free society, you should have access to all of these things. I mean, the trad cunt in me says that my kids are not going to be going to that section knowing that book is in there, because what else is in there? That's just my own personal feelings. But let's say you were a parent who was really looking for a piece of literature to give to their kid to let them read. You would have to tear out so many of those pages. You would have to ask your child, you say, so chapter 1 and chapter 3 are good, stay away from pages 200 to whatever, and by the way, take this whole book and go to your room and learn something, to which you've got a 13, 14-year-old kid who's not even in high school yet, learning about scat and hand jobs. It's so far beyond the pale, but let's ask the question why. Why are the proponents of this so hardcore that they want the full Monty? That's really, Brittany, when you're talking about, limited government and things like that, the burning question I have is what is propelling, what is pushing the proponents of the book to kind of insist that they want little bitty baby 6th, 7th, 8th graders to know about kink and to want to know about things that, why would you teach your little kid about the proper way to do certain things? The proper way. The difference between doing it the right way and doing it the wrong way. I mean, it is...
I think it's all systematically indoctrination. I think that there are tons of alternative books. A simple Google search will give you 6 to 10 books that most communities have used to replace this book in the Freed Between the Lines event. That also serves as both a testimonial to sexual abuse experiences, along with guides of helping to come out, that doesn't include these kinks. The toting of the line, again, with these kinks. I gave this example. I have not given this online or anything, but I have given this to a couple of my friends. So a lot of people are saying, hey, they just find this on the internet. So, they're going to find out about it anyway. Do you know what they say in school, Brittany? Exposure is reinforcement, especially for like these molding minds. By giving them this material, we're desensitizing them. So let me ask you this. If there was a kink, there is a kink, actually, I found it on the internet, called kitten crushing. Do you want to know what that is?
Kind of.
You don't really want to,
No.
but think about it. People get off on taking kittens and stepping on their heads and crushing them. That's a kink.
Is this part of the
No.
Alphabet Mafia community?
Nope. But say, not yet, but say it was. say that that is a common practice with that, and that was in this glossary section. Would you still be defending it then?
It's everybody's got their red line somewhere. And I don't see the red line yet from the LGBTQ community.
Yes, because
where is the red line?
Okay, I'm going to say this.
Is it kitten crushing? Is that where they stop?
I don't know, but it's not the whole LGBT community. That's what I'm saying. I've had an outpouring of individuals that are on the gay spectrum that have said, I don't want to have anything to do with this. I hate the association that this has, where we're being associated with literally giving children material that would be considered pornographic. If you took the material and you threw it through your ChatGPT and asked it to image it, and then you gave those images to a 16-year-old person, guess what? You're going to jail.
Yeah.
So, like, again, why are we burning this whole event over one book? I'll tell you why. It's because I feel like people just want to virtue signal. They want to see how far they can go. And we as a community now are scared to speak up because you're going to be called a homophobe. You know? It's crazy to think that we were all, I feel like we were on, I said this the other day, I feel like we were all on a train and everyone was getting along and things were progressing. But things started to get weird in the gay community. In the 90s, in the 2000s, everyone was kind of getting on board, saying, yes, equal rights. Yes, everyone should be treated this way. But then things started to get a little weird where, you know, we talked about...
Well, it used to be LGB.
Yeah.
And LGB by itself was fine. But the idea with being progressive is that's not good enough. You have to keep on adding... I mean,
always got to be something
It's like Dave
more.
Chappelle said, I got no problems with L's. I got no problems with G's. I got no problem with B's. But then you get into the T's, and we get into like the A's and the P's and the PP's, and you keep on going, and it's like, you know, like, what's the difference between like bisexual and pansexual? It's like, oh my gosh, going down the rabbit hole.
I think the entire movement sort of, again, and I know, like you said, we have, you know, we gay friends who are just like, some of this stuff, you know, we don't want to be a part of it. But I believe the movement, I think they jumped the shark with the men, putting the men in the women's sports. I think that's the line that most sane people are like, what are we doing here? And I think it's since that movement, they've been trying to regain the ground that they lost, because I think that was a big blow to them when that got knocked down, and all of a sudden everybody started cracking down on it and stopping that practice, which was ridiculous.
Right.
It's just a lack of common sense all around, guys. You know, and it's crazy that our government is our leader and our government lacks common sense.
Well, again, I think it depends on what your government is, because, you know, there are governments where they do follow a little more common sense, but we have some that don't. So
I think
And I just sorry, one more thing. I want to be very clear that when you said like the whole, like how the alphabet has extended, I accept all. I don't care what you are. I could give a shit less what you do or who you bang as long as they are of age. Like you telling me that you're gay doesn't, like, it just doesn't matter to me. It's never been a thing to me. And now I've got off the train because I don't want kids to be involved or exposed. I do totally believe that young gay kids should have an out, like you said. There's better literature out there. We do not give literature to children without context. That's damning of itself. Both the American Pediatrics Association and the American Psychological Association have both stated that fact, that when you hand children material without context, without conversation, especially this book, it could be more damning than it is doing good. So again, I ask, why are we burning this whole book ban to the ground with our virtue signaling on this one book? This one book, if it didn't have the word gay attached to it, this just wouldn't even be an argument.
Right, because the rest of the list was okay, right?
What do you mean?
The book list in general, the whole
Absolutely.
event.
It's an embarrassment that we have this next to Captain Underpants and The Catcher in the Rye. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like you're saying they're equatable. They're not.
Right.
And again, no book should be banned. I don't care who you bang. Just don't give kids pornographic material. And, you know, if your kids want to work in your family business, freaking let them.
Amen.
And your kids are still gonna climb in the tanks and do what they need to do, right?
Oh yeah, they're still going to handle hazmat and all that stuff. And like, you know.
Don't say
No
that.
face
Don't
shields,
say
no
that. You'll
sulfuric
have
acid.
the Illinois Department of Child Labor on you before you know it.
So you're gonna have this young man on next week, so that'll be a
Yeah,
good conversation.
that's our plan. We'll probably just talk more about what a sparkling, like, brilliant young person he is. We'll probably focus on that because a lot of the other stuff to focus on it's fine to, like, what we're talking about now, but with him I'll probably just kind of like showcase him as a person because he's amazing, his family's amazing, and they're actually waking up every single morning to try to serve. They're trying to do the best that they can.
He's a product of his environment.
Yeah, and I really want some pizza. And I haven't been there yet, and they're not gonna be open tonight or tomorrow, so it's like, okay, that's fine.
They will have their grand opening next Thursday. They did have a little bit of a setback. Homecoming kind of set them back. They have a lot of high school staffers on there. They have a lot of people. Also, like, kudos to them.
Yeah.
You know, they're letting their staff enjoy the
And
homecoming.
that is good.
That's the whole part about, like, Aid Open, Atlas Slice. They're community-based driven restaurants. We love to have them. Speaking of young men, we're going to
Yes.
have a young man on here as our guest here shortly.
Obviously not talking about us anymore.
Oh,
He is,
I get to be on.
And certainly not Randy.
He is none other than our very own Shane Hulsey. I look forward to talking to him.
We'll be back after this.
bravo, Shane.
What have you been missing on Muddy River Gems? You won't believe your eyes. My crew and I have been bringing you stories for more than 20 years on PBS and now Muddy River News. And we're just getting started.
St. Hulsey,
What's happening?
you and I just did a podcast yesterday.
Yes, we did. Long time no see.
Wayne.
I let her
I knew it was
say
coming.
it. I had to let her say it. So we're having a lot of fun over at Utopia with that podcast, by the way.
Good. It
So,
looks like fun.
It is
It is
fun.
fun.
Yeah, like I said, anytime you're doing that kind of stuff, again, you're gonna have good weeks and bad weeks, unless you're like some pro or whatever. But yeah, even the pros get killed. But
That kind of stuff. What are we talking about, guys?
betting.
Sports betting.
Betting, sports betting,
Sports.
I think next week though I want to do some fantasy stuff because we'll
Okay,
we'll
yeah.
be through the quarter mark of the NFL season,
Quarter poll, yep.
poll, how our fantasy football teams are doing. Why, Brittany Bowl, how's your fantasy football team doing?
I'm 0-3.
Oh,
I don't understand, guys. I really don't, because I use Yahoo Fantasy, where everything shows you, like, the numbers behind it, the predictability,
Nailed it.
this, and this. I'm following all the things. I know how to do math. It's just not.
sometimes
The math ain't
that's not
mathin'.
how it
It's
works.
just not mathing, though.
Yeah,
Sometimes the math does not math, especially in football.
I'm notorious for getting off to slow starts in fantasy football seasons, and so like the first week was god awful, and the last two have been great. So we're coming back, we're doing better. But I just realized I just put ginger beer in Crown Peach, and it's delicious.
I bet. That
It's
does
really,
sound
really
good.
Anyway, I just wanted to note that in there too. So
Question.
Yeah.
Let's start it off. Okay.
Okay.
When did fantasy football become a thing?
Oh, it's been around for
I was
decades.
in my first league in the early 1990s, like right around like ending college. When I got out of college, I came up here and was working at KHQA, and I think that was when I got my first league up here with some guys. I was actually in the league with like Ron Kincherf and Bill Schuler. That was the first league I was at here.
What a crew.
Tony Reese, Greg Reese, a bunch of those guys. Like Vic Welper was in that league.
Who won?
That was 30 some odd years ago. I don't remember. Then I got in the fantasy league, which was basically all the local media guys, Harold Wig guys, GEM guys back then, and and that's the league I'm still in and been in the longest. So 33 years I've been in that league, and that is the Art Schleister Fantasy Football League that I've won 5 times.
Not showing your age at all. Hey Shane, how old are you?
I am 27.
So how long have you been doing the fantasy football thing?
About half my life.
Really?
So, since I was probably.
Wait, don't say
14.
that on here because then we'll have some betting commission coming at you or something.
It wasn't
like.
always for.
Did you start off fantasy baseball or fantasy football?
Football.
See, I started off fantasy baseball in the mid '80s, called
Yes.
Rotisserie League Baseball.
And something called Stratomatic that keeps going through my Muddy River News.
Stratomatic, which
Yep.
I've been doing since 1979. So yes, and I still play, and I'm in multiple leagues.
Okay, so what is your fantasy football team names? Because you have so many.
How
I
many?
have 4 different ones.
All
so
right.
one of them's a Shane Trains. Another one is the Chain Gang. It's kind of one of my. So it's with like Will Connerly and Riley Martin. Those names might ring a bell to some folks around here.
But not me.
To you guys.
Yes, and there was a guy who worked in the QU athletic department named Edward Madera. He's Dominican, and he would always pronounce my name Chain. So it's a football term, but in another way it's kind
Another way it's racist.
A little nod to Mr. Madera. So
Any more names? You got a couple more, right? Not off the top of your head
think
because you
I-
have so many.
I think those are the only 2 names I'm
What
using.
is
Rawls County Rednecks. That's the team that I'm currently, the Harold Wig team. One team is now Muddy World Order in another league. One team name I stole, Remember the Titties, for one league.
Where did you steal that from, Bob?
I stole it from you, because that's what you named your team.
It's been my team name since I've started.
And she has a T-shirt for the, even Mark
Okay,
said.
so yeah, I didn't even know that Tennessee had a team, but the company bought me this shirt, which I'm very excited about. It is, yeah, it's good. Remember the Titans, that's where it came from.
Yes.
Also, side note, when we're talking about, children and whatnot, this podcast, since we don't have to give ratings on the internet, we might preface that this is a club. We all have drinks, so maybe 21 and older for this.
Well, in the gambling podcast, we always do, hey, bet with your head, bet with your heart, 1-800-BETS-OFF, 1-800-GAMBLER, gambling if you think you have a problem.
Nice.
Because, a lot of guys do that, and I don't know if we're legally obligated to do it, but we do it. And, since Heck Gaming is a sponsor, and the Utopia is a sponsor, and they have the gaming machines there, and then, of course, we're talking about all the picks and stuff. So, but
Very responsible of you. Let's always cover our asses.
and we always, but so far in like 3 of our 4 shows we've gotten there, we've had to do the 20-minute pregame with Bill Turlesner to like really talk about the bets that we've won and lost and stuff and all that the previous week and what we're looking at this week. So he does kind of help us out. You can talk about this game, you can talk about that game? Sure, yeah, why not? So Barney's great.
A little brainstorming.
Yeah, so with our pints, and which they happily provide us with a pint or 2 of our
1/3 of the name.
Yes, but Brittany likes her alliteration. I like my alliteration, so we came up with picks, parlays, and pints. So I got them right in order that time. So because sometimes I say parlay first, but anyway. So no, it's a lot of fun.
Okay, what's a parlay?
parlay?
A parlay is multiple bets combined together into one. It's a bigger payout, but you have to hit every single bet. If you hit, say you do a 3-leg parlay, 2 of them hit, 2 of the picks hit, you'd win nothing.
A 3-leg parlay would be, for example,
Yeah.
3-leg parlay. If you like the Lions, who the Lions have this week?
The Lions have the Browns.
Browns. Okay, you're going to pick Jared Goff to throw a touchdown pass. You're going to pick the Lions to win.
Jared Goff, I thought, is out right now.
No, he's not out.
Who's
Jaden Daniels is your quarterback who's out.
No. Oh, yeah.
So,
I had Goff last year.
Jared Goff, no relation. If he throws a touchdown pass, if the Lions win and the 2 teams combine to score over, say, 40 points, and you place a bet on those 3 things and those 3 things hit, you would win more money than if you just said, okay, I'm just going to bet on the Lions to win.
I would have thought
But,
a 3-leg parlay would be in the back of that glossary.
It might be.
Ba-da-boo!
You might be. You might just take a look at that and see. So, for example, Shane and I always give a lock of the week, which we think is our no-fail bet, which I've done 3. We've done 3 so far. I'm 2-1, so I've had
We're
2
both
that
2 and
hit.
1.
You're both 2-1 in that.
Let Shaney get credit where credit's due, man.
Yeah, but so the lock of the week is, like this week I said the Packers will cover against the Cowboys. They're favored by 7, and Micah Parsons would get a sack. That was my lock of the week. What was your lock of the week?
My lock of the week was what was it?
I don't know.
I'm drawing a blank.
Was it one of the pro game or college
It was
game?
a pro game. Oh, the Bucks plus 3.5.
To beat the Eagles.
Okay, we talked a little bit about child labor and all that before. Here's a weird question. Again, I'm not familiar with sports betting at all. Can you bet on, like, high school?
No.
Can you bet on college?
Yes.
So, okay, wait. No bets whatsoever on high school, even under the table type thing?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Well, I
if,
mean-
I don't
sure.
understand how that.
I mean, you're not going to get.
Under a regulated sports book, no.
Okay.
There was, if you heard about the stuff with the Little League World Series, there was some shady under the table stuff going on there, which was that's even worse. I mean, those are 12-year-old kids.
And you're literally, were they like throwing games and stuff
No,
to make things happen?
the kids weren't involved in it. It was somebody, like, I don't know who was, I don't know all the details of it, but somebody was, I don't know if it was multiple people, I don't know. No, none of the players or anybody were involved in it, but it was someone just, I mean, that's just.
Being
Bob,
delinquent.
Bob, didn't you
Yes.
tell me you got $1,000 on the junior high Comets game next week?
I do not have a bet on it. Now, back when I worked at the Herald Whig, we did high school fantasy football where we
Yeah.
would like say, okay, we would pick like 2 or 3 guys to score a bunch of touchdowns.
That's what I'm asking. But that's not.
But if there's no money
that's-
involved, then
No, we
Then
would
it's
just
fine.
we just kept
Fine.
track like okay and
Yeah.
did a
Okay,
every the week.
no money involved. It's homecoming for the Blue Devils. Who are they playing?
Moline, right?
Moline.
Who's going to win?
I mean,
No
I think-
money
I think
involved.
we all know.
I don't know.
I think the Blue Devils' winning streak comes to an end.
You
I
think
think
so?
Moline wins.
Really? Oh, man. Not on homecoming.
That's
All
my
right.
guess. That's just my guess.
Schedule a different opponent for home.
No
Yeah,
kidding.
schedule Holloman. You know, schedule. Yeah, you always
UT.
you get a tomato can. Don't schedule your biggest rival
Yeah.
in that. So that's always silly. Trust me, one year at Mark Twain, we were the 5 of our road games. We were the homecoming 4 of them because we were bad. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it tells you something.
yeah, that was always like
That's really good on the self-esteem.
the second
Yeah.
week of the season.
Yeah.
Why is Monroe City having homecoming? Oh, because they're playing us. That's why. So, you know.
A little off from sports betting. Shane, you cover sports for us.
Yes.
I coined you the sports guru of your time,
Okay.
Because we have Chris Stewart,
'Cause you're
Matt
young and they're
Schuckman,
old.
and you're young. I wasn't trying to say
Yeah.
they're old,
Yeah,
but you
they're
see
old.
things differently. Everybody, from all different ages and perspectives, see things differently. What has been your favorite sport to cover for us so far?
Favorite sport to cover? Basketball's always been a favorite.
Just because it's fast-paced, or why?
Fast-paced. I played it, so I know.
Oh, you played?
I played in high school. I played basketball in high school. So I know more about that.
Were you a point guard?
Yeah, a guard, shooting guard, whatever.
I totally knew that.
Well, it's because I'm not 6'7", so I couldn't really play.
Kind of.
play
I
that
was
low.
judging.
And I went to a big school, so there's
Where'd you go?
Holt in Wentzville.
Holt.
Wentzville Holt.
Nice.
So basketball is up there.
Your high school baseball coach was?
Mr. Joel Adam.
David's brother.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Seriously?
Yeah. That's how we got him. I mean,
That's how-
give the
that's
whole
how-
story
that's how I
about
even
your
got-
Quincy media career.
That's how I even got to Quincy in the first place.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. That was going to be my question. What brought you here?
Yeah. So so Joel was also lived 2 houses down from me too, and I was friends. I'm still friends with his kids, and so he's from here. David still was living up here. Still works. Was working at the Herald Whig at the time when I was looking at colleges, and Joel recommended looking at Quincy, and came up here. Actually, David was the first one who kind of showed me around Quincy, offered me a job at the Herald Whig. I loved QU. It had everything I wanted to kind of go into.
Theology, the priesthood.
Wait, so you went to Quincy University?
Yes.
Yeah, he was a theology major. He was going to be a priest.
I knew that.
No,
Actually,
he wasn't.
I did. How did I not know? I guess.
Not even close. So that's how
I didn't know that, but how I kind of.
If it weren't for the Adam family, I probably would have never even heard of Quincy.
The Adam family. Dun, dun.
Okay, so now you're in Quincy.
Yep.
And you're loving it, right? Right. Okay. What is your favorite thing about Quincy? Let's start with
favorite thing.
food,
Oh, Lord.
activity,
see.
and then sports.
Food. Oh, that's a good question.
I think activity and sports are probably
Nope, it's got to
One
be an
and two in here.
activity outside of sports.
Outside of sports.
So let's start with food. What's your favorite food? Oh, I
favorite-
already know what his favorite food is.
My favorite like dish from anywhere is the chicken piccata at the Abbey.
Oh,
That's
I
my
didn't know
favorite. That's the one place where, and I just saw this young fellow there last night.
Really? Picking up your chicken
yeah.
piccata?
He was
Shout
there with
out
his
to the
mom.
Abbey.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that's probably my favorite place. And then you said activity.
Yep, but
Well-
let's also mention, you have clean eats literally every day while you're doing the daily
Or
muddy.
tropical smoothie cafe
Yes,
or
that's
something.
one too.
Something like that. Well, I was going to say pickleball.
Okay, that can count as an
That count,
activity.
okay.
So you partake in pickleball?
Yes.
Where at?
Usually at Mormon Park. I play a little bit at Berrien.
Which one's resurfacing right now? Or they're closed for a minute? I think it was.
I don't remember.
Well, they're building the paddle up by Mormon.
Yeah, but I saw, well, maybe that's what it is. I saw on Quincy that just the pickleball courts were going to be closed for just a short period of time. I don't know which one, but for resurfacing, that's awesome. Keeping it up, maintenance.
He also plays golf.
Yeah.
Where at?
Um,
What's your favorite course?
Usually Westview is the most common.
Yeah.
I've played Arrowhead and Camp Point. Just played Rolling Greens over at Mount Sterling. Went out there for the first time.
Are you good?
I wouldn't say I'm good. I get around okay.
Are you good?
No,
If I break 90, I'm happy. I'll
Same.
just say that.
If I hit the ball, I'm happy.
I played once this year, so.
Well, you're a busy person. Okay,
Stupid
last thing.
company.
What was my last one? What's your favorite sport in Quincy to, I guess, watch? Not necessarily cover, but watch.
Question. See that I don't really.
Get to watch because
I
you're always
don't.
working?
I've been to. I think the Quincy University football home opener this year might have been the first QU football game I've been to that I wasn't working.
Covering? That's awesome.
Announcing or writing about it or doing
Wait,
something.
announcing? You announced too?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, he's done some play-by-play.
Multi-talented.
Um,
Producer, writer.
My favorite sport is football. Always my favorite sport to cover and do play-by-play for is football. Just the one thing about basketball is you're not freezing your ass off somewhere.
Inside.
That's the one good thing about covering basketball is, okay, I'm warm and I'm dry because I have frozen at some football games.
Yep.
So
And there's some really good basketball around here too.
Yeah, I was just actually discussing this with Michelle earlier. Our girls basketball team for QHS, I'm so excited about that. And I know that I'm guessing that they're going to have to pick up the slack. I don't want to really say the slack, but our boys basketball team is going to be a young team, probably not the, they'll grow.
Everybody, especially public schools, go through those phases.
Sure.
But this
All the time.
girls team, it's going to be phenomenal. It's a young team. They're going to be growing together. They have super strong players. Jada
Brown.
Brown.
Yep.
Her grandpa comes to Spring Street all the time. Love them.
Yep.
And then, of course, Chloe Nicholson, who I call the Caitlin Clark of the area.
That's good.
She really is amazing. Just recently,
the Longcore girl, don't forget about her. She's good too.
I'm not
Longcore.
forgetting.
Miley Longcore.
Yeah.
But no, Chloe, yes, Chloe.
I need you guys here to help me with all of them. I went to the girls' basketball game that was held in Blue Devil Gym last year. I loved it. I love seeing them play there. I personally wish that they could play there more often. I think some of them do too. But back to Chloe real quick. Did you know, fun fact, I'm going to sports blow your mind.
Okay, let's hear it.
She was offered UConn, and Caitlin Clark actually, I don't think was. Already as a sophomore. I'm telling you what, this is going to be huge, huge, huge.
Huge.
She better go to Mizzou.
What do you mean?
She just better go to Mizzou.
Oh my God, I hope so too, because she did just recently visit Mizzou.
Yeah.
And she did a TikTok with Sophie
Got to hang out with
Cunningham.
Sophie. Yeah, that was
cool.
awesome. That was awesome. No, obviously, being a Mizzou guy, I'd love her to go there. But again, she's going to do what's best for her. It would be very tough to say no to UConn if it was a legendary, being one of the elite, legendary female women's sports basketball programs there is.
Maybe the most dominant college program
Really?
in any sport ever.
I didn't know that.
In terms of longevity.
I'm going to go with him.
UCLA basketball had a nice run.
Yeah.
You're talking about college, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just hoping that our basketball program, though, can keep her here and that we can get that, spotlight that she came from.
You mean high school keeper here?
Yeah. Till the end of her high school career.
Because she could. That happens nowadays.
She could transfer, but
I mean, I think that, if they're, I don't know. I think they really want the equal opportunity to play in that gym. I know that's something that they've been striving for, and I hope that's not, the kibosh on everything. Or maybe we can look at maybe trying to change some things. I've been told no all the time, so I get told no a lot.
well, we don't make the calls on that.
No.
So.
No, but I do think that if it did have to do with what I've been told, the Western Big Six conferences, that we could work, has anyone tried, is my question. Has anyone tried to move this, or is it just...
No, they've talked about it a couple years ago. They've talked about it off and on over the years. Yeah. It's been,
I just didn't know if there was any...
Mike Dade, I was at a school board meeting where he, talked about how he thought they should when his daughter was playing.
But they shut it down because at that time the seniors were all comfortable with playing where they had known. Now we have a young team, so I'm just asking, have we made attempts other than just talking to? Is that possible to change conference things? I don't know how these things work.
Well, they wouldn't have to change.
You're not changing conferences.
Change schedules.
It'd just be a scheduling thing. That's all it is.
Not really. I mean, they could do it.
They could?
In theory.
Let's see.
In theory, they could.
Well, what's your favorite part about working here, Shane? Besides me asking you if my hair looks good, my sign-offs.
Tell him about his other job.
What other job?
His job producing the Daily Money.
That's what I'm talking about now.
You take a long way to time to get to a point sometimes.
I literally am talking about him producing when I'm like, hey, Shane, how's my hair? Hey, Shane, this, and this. And usually he can roll his eyes so far in the back of his head, I'm pretty sure they're going to get stuck sometimes.
That's funny you say that. My mom actually got me, I can't remember exactly what it says, but it's something about, how they can hear me rolling my eyes, or it's
I can hear it.
I heard you roll your eyes, or it's something I can't remember exactly what it says.
You also blame people for rolling their eyes when they don't sometimes too, because you said that to me, and I know I wasn't rolling my eyes at you.
I have no idea what you're talking about. But you definitely have your hands full when it comes to producing, not necessarily Daily Muddy. Those are probably easy, but our coffee talks, I know Ashley and I like to give you hell. But it's only because we love you.
Yeah.
I know. Again, I mean, Shane is a very important part of the team, and I know that when we were able to get Chris to come aboard too, it just made us better. And Shane does some news duties, but I think when we brought him aboard, he was a TV guy down in Cape Girardeau. He'd actually left here and gone down there to work, but you weren't getting to do a lot of sports.
Once a week.
Yeah.
And that's your passion.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, what do you think is your sports to news ratio here right now?
About 98 to 2.
Okay, there.
Nice.
I'm glad you feel that way.
Maybe 90.
I was gonna.
If we're not counting
No, I was counting this
if
too.
If you're counting this,
that counts.
maybe
90-10.
90-10.
That's what I thought. I was thinking 90-10, and
Did you just say this counts?
I said this.
Yeah,
I said
the
his producing of the Daily Muddy counts.
I thought we meant Club Muddy. I was like, yes, this counts.
No, I meant his producing duties. That's a news thing, yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and so he does that, and then he cover the park board, and he's also our sports commission guy, and so yeah, he's still doing some newsy stuff. So, but again, but those things are still sportsy too. So it's like it's not like we're having him, have to deal with some of the stuff that Michelle and I have to deal with sometimes, wrangling with the Quincy City Council or something. Nobody's yelled at you at a public meeting, have they?
Not that I'm aware of, at least.
Didn't think so.
If they did, he would have rolled his eyes.
He would have rolled his eyes at him.
I
Yeah.
rolled my eyes and they would have quivered.
I've never had to barge into a public meeting and defend your honor, have I?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
You just used the words, yeah, I rolled my eyes. Not only because of that, but did you just coin the term, or is it a word? Sportsy.
Well,
You said
it's
sportsy.
It's sportsy, yeah.
Is
sure.
that a word?
Sure,
It
why
can
not?
be.
I made up another word earlier today, but I can't repeat it here.
Oh.
It was in a conversation with Josh Klitz, so we can't.
Well, yeah, no.
I can't share that.
No.
Yeah. What happens in a Klitz conversation stays in a Klitz conversation.
How do you like producing that show?
It's something. I'll just leave it at that. It's something.
Do you ever find yourself not being able to control your laughter, and you're like, oh, I probably.
Yeah, there's that.
Do you ever find yourself cringy and uncomfortable?
Like the whole time?
I was just about to say all the time.
The whole time.
Yeah, it's different. But again, we're a big tent.
Yeah.
We do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We want to have fun. We want to do serious stuff, but there's no reason we can't have some fun and do some other stuff too, like we do here. So
Yep.
My word today was equanimous.
that's not a word.
I think it is. Yes, it is. It's to remain calm, and I kind of failed at that probably earlier, but I'm passionate about the things I spoke about before.
I don't think you've
I'm
ever
not so
passed in
passionate
doing
about
that.
sports. I'm just like, hey, I go with the flow. I have you guys for that part, and I thank you for that. Keep me on my toes. You also make me feel sometimes super dumb because I have no idea what you're talking about. But that's on me because I'm not a sports guru like Shane.
Nobody knows everything about everything.
No.
You're not sucking up very hard, are you? Because you should have said except Bob at the end of that sentence. That would have been the
They
key
barely
thing
gave me
to do.
time.
There's your eye roll. Roll your eye there. That's fine. I'm kidding. So, no, again, he's a valuable part of the team, and we've really been very lucky to get a lot of great people to come aboard and work with us and see the mission and what we want to do. And this is it's a special place. It's a quirky place, I'll say, but it's a special place, I think, and I hope that I don't want anybody to be unhappy. Nobody's going to ever just love their job all the time. No, I don't want sycophants, but I want you to feel good about working here, everybody, and that's all I want.
I think most of us are pretty proud of it.
And be able to pay your bills.
Yeah,
Trying to do that too.
I
So
like that.
trying to do that too.
Bob,
Tomorrow is pay. Today's payday.
Bob, I spent quite a while setting that camera up over there, and I've been on camera for about 15 seconds during this whole thing.
What would you like to say?
So next month when it's my birthday, I want an episode devoted to nothing but Star Trek and antique airplanes.
You got it.
Okay.
You got it.
All
That's
right.
the Randy birthday thing. Let's get it in there.
All
Let's
right.
book Randy and we'll do
I
that.
think I can do that.
Is this the big 7-0?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so fucking much.
Hey, look at that camera and eye roll as hard as you can, Randy.
Well, thank you for being here. This was your day off, so you had to come in here, but I got you a couple
Oh man,
beers.
you had to come in here and drink some beers
I
and talk to me.
threw a couple beers down your throat, so
Yeah.
there you go. But anyway, no, dude, love having you here. Thank you for all the hard work you put in, and again, just if you ever need anything, just let me know, man.
Got it.
So, all right?
Cheers to Shaney Waney.
All right. See you guys next week.